In this video, we'll be digging a little deeper into the concept of agents and how to add and scan a new agent from a PLC. Let's go.
We've played a little bit around with the graphics, how to create graphics, and now from an agent perspective, I'm going to open the agent configurator. This gives you a window into the configuration application for the Adroit IO server, or as we call it, our agent server. The agents you're going to be using in most projects are made up of analogs. Here's a list of full agents. Analogs, probably digitals, maybe scripts, strings and string lists. So typically these are the types of agents you'll be using. Now what do we mean when we talk about agents? Let's just open one. Let's open the batch wait, which we've used a couple of times. If I double click on it, it brings it up. It shows you what we can do with an analog. And a tag for us is just an analog agent dot its attribute that you'd like to use. So it's value slot or any one of the many slots that are available from what we call our agent or a tag with intelligence. So encapsulated in an analog is the ability to scan and bring in the device raw value, to be able to scale it, to have as part of the agent a slot that is called unit, which is kilograms, the scaled value, and then the levels of alarm. So 5 levels of alarm: high, 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 low, and low, low, and rate of change. Let's go to a digital. It'll be a bit clearer now. A digital, for example, is a digital agent, but it has a bunch of intelligence encapsulated. Number one, that's the raw value. You can invert it by simply checking that slot. The text value that can represent the state of the tag. So for example, if it's closed or open or alarmed or not alarmed, you simply change the value of the dot off state and the dot on state slot, and that can be put on a mimic to represent in text form. You don't have to continue to go on to some other scripting to turn a value into a text agent. You can also pulse an output of a digital by simply enabling it and then putting in the milliseconds. So if you wanted to start and stop something in the PLC and you needed a bit of time, you could just do it directly from the agent itself. So other agents you might be interested in from our perspective is string agent, where we are just simply scanning in a string value. In this scenario, it's the product value from the OPC server. And another useful one is the string list agent, where based on a value in the PLC, the value of the agent itself represented in text. We're going to add a tag now. Now we're online. Bear in mind, we're online. So if I go to batch wait, and this time I actually wanted to change that to pump current, and that's just the description of it, because again that's just a slot of the agent and you can represent that and it's useful. If I add that and I edit it, you will see there's pump current. Here my details: 0 to 100 and 0 to 1000 and 0 to 1000. I know useful it's going to be less than that, so I'm going to just change those to scanning. So in this agent it's 0 to 1000. I'm going to change that 0 to 100, and I'm going to add in my high level and my high level, update that, and now that's been configured. All I need to do is now scan it to a PLC, in our case to our BatchOPC server. That device has been set up as the BatchOPC server. We'll cover that in a later video. I'm going to the raw value slot, and from here I can just browse in the pump current, which is there. Double clicking puts it into the slot, and I'm going to change the scan rate to 500 milliseconds, scan it, and now that is live. If I save it, so I've done that all online while the plant's running, adding tags, deleting tags, removing tags, scanning tags, all done live. I'm just now going to represent that current on top of my motor. You know how to do this, it's been covered before. Display a value, browse it in, browse down to your analog agent, double click on current, it puts the value slot, which is the scaled value. Let's put amps, and that, if I save it, will be available. And I start the plant, you'll see it'll do so. You'll see that once we get to there, let's change that to 56, and then there's the current that's being drawn by that motor. In fact, you saw that it is running, and they're the amps that are being drawn.
I guess the idea of just how advanced the system can actually be is starting to take shape now. In this next video, we will show you how to log, alarm, and display these in an alarm list and trend control.